Suzanne here. Welcome to Excel Intuition's If Function Examples 1 video. If you haven't already done so, I recommend you download your own copy of the companion workbook that we're using along with this video. Now, I'm going to click to the Sum Logical Functions worksheet and introduce the if function. The if function has 3 arguments: a logical test, a value if true, and a value if false. The value if true and the value if false arguments will be the outcome of the function depending on the result of the logical test. The brackets around those arguments indicates that they're optional. So if you do not provide one of these arguments, either the value of true or the value of false, or both, then the outcome of the if function will be simply the logical value, true or false, depending on the result of the logical test. Let's take a look at the table provided for our example. We've got a table, it's a mini report comparing sales tax rates from 2 different Monterey County cities. And you can select cities from your drop-down lists in the row labeled city. Then the sales tax of each of those selected cities will be displayed in the row labeled sales tax. The row labeled result 1 will have a message in the column in which the city with the higher sales tax rate is represented. If the 2 cities have an equal sales tax rate, you won't see a message in either one of these cells because they will both result in a null message. Result 2 will have a message if the sales tax rates are equal. We'll see a message in this bottom row saying that they are the same. So let's take a look at how the if functions are constructed. If I double click in the cell, I can see the entire function in my formula bar up here. And we can see the logical test compares the sales tax rate in column B to the sales tax rate in column C. The logical test states B8 is greater than C8. So we have a logical argument helping to form our logical test, that greater than symbol. If it's true that B8 is greater than C8, then the outcome of the function will be what we've constructed in the value if true argument of this function. And that is a message concatenating the names of the cities with a text string between the 2 city names. So if it's true that B8 is greater than C8, we'll have a message that has the city name in B7 concatenated with the text has a higher sales tax rate than, concatenated with the city name in C7. However, if it's false that B8 is greater than C8, then we'll have the outcome value if false, which will be a null value indicated by quote, quote, with nothing between the quote symbols. The cell will have a null message. The cell will have an empty value. Notice we have the same if function structure in column C, but it's the opposite. Here our logical test is C8 greater than B8. And if that's true, then we have the message saying that the city name in C7 has a higher sales tax rate than the city name in B7. So let's watch how this changes if I pick a name to, let's see, let's go with Castroville. between Castroville and Soledad. Now Soledad has a higher sales tax rate than Castroville. Now what happens if I pick two that have the same? I'm going to pick Pacific Grove. And we see that Pacific Grove and Soledad have the same sales tax rates. Let's take a look at this if function. Here our logical test is if B8 equals C8, then we're having a message that the sales tax rates of the two cities are the same. Otherwise, we're having a null value in our response. Thank you.